time for the React Andy Sloppy Joe session. This video popped in my head because I think I used to follow him for like the sake of rants and whatnot because he would rant in like a AVGN style to this. The funny thing about it is this video was he made four opinions about it in the video, and then the rest of it is like a constant yapping. Like he can't go a minute without cussing, if anything, because again, AVGN style of commentary. He doesn't script his videos, and anytime there will be like comments telling him to script his videos, he just tells them to the F off, basically. So this is titled Casey Muratori, Jonathan Blow, and Modern Vintage blah 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 can suck my meat. And then this description is dumb a-holes. He's definitely going to cuss a lot. I'm going to see if I can try to be creative. Because almost every video, he just comes off as angry. Maybe not in the old videos. Who knows?
Okay, I've been meaning to catch up on my ass kick for a while now. And I need to destroy a few people here again. So, okay, so Limited Run Games, they ripped off Mednafin for some shitty commercial collection that they released. And of course, guess which shill was there to defend them? Modern Vintage Gonorrhea, right there to say, oh, it's a nothing burger. Oh yeah, stolen code. Yeah.
I don't know what the G stands for, so I assume is game supposed to be Modern Vintage Gaming or game or whatever.
Yeah, no problem, because I do it all the time. This piece of crap has such a conflict of interest because of course he's friends with people at Limited Run Games, and that's why he got that deal to make the pointless Game Boy emulator for that Shantae collection. And let me say something about Shantae right now. Shantae is a fake, phony game series, okay? Those games always sucked. They were never good. The whole thing is just a marketing creation. It's like they're like why is there like a Shantae collection as if it's some classic game or something? It isn't. It's a fairly modern game. Nobody even gives a shit about these games. They were never good. The whole thing is a marketing, creation to create a false sense of nostalgia so people can go and buy some games that sucked from the beginning. It's a big joke. Shantae, him, Modern Vintage Gonorrhea, that piece of crap. Okay.
Okay, so here's the first opinion. The way he talks, it like he sounds like he wants to have sex with the character. I don't know. Does anyone actually play the Shantae franchise before? I actually never played the game before, but from what I recall, it's like a platformer game. The first time I've heard of this series was, I believe it was like the modern releases. Was it Pirate's Treasure or Hero Genie? I never played the game before, but I do remember the old releases of the games because it was on the Game Boy. If anything, like on the cover, it's like a platformer waifu game and whatnot. He does seem pretty salty about it. It is crazy to me. I do agree. The game is like a part of like a platformer Goon collection. The way he talks, like it's like, okay, are you like sexually frustrated with the game? Like he was just screaming into the mic. It was like putting his mic is like as if he's like slobbering it. Are you, salty and sexually frustrated? I don't know, bro. I don't have a counter response to that because I never played the games before. I've heard of it. I know a few people that play the game within like a platformer wise. Maybe he raged too hard that he got a hard on. He definitely does. He's been talking about the term like meat and riding on meat so frequently. She personally style shot his family at the back of their head. Bro, he got so mad as if like Shantae like Robloxed his family or Minecrafted his family. Oh, okay. Let's continue on.
So I think the theme for this is going to be programming charlatans who are so full of it's pouring out of their ears in tidal waves. And so the second asshole that I want to talk about is this Casey Moratorium, whatever the his name is. This
God, he can't go 5 to 10 seconds without the profanity, though. Jesus, it's like take a shot every time he's gonna use that word. Like, bruh.
Asshole who he's a fucking talking head who just keeps popping up. He never shuts the fuck up. and he's such a piece of crap. I mean, he's so insignificant. I haven't made a video about him, but he just keeps popping up, so I have to. So some background on this piece of shit. He, worked. I don't know if he still does. He worked at that Rad Game Tools. They made various game development tools, but they're most known for creating Bink Video. And so this guy goes around acting like he's some badass, like he walks on water, because he worked at a shitty company who made some crappy video encoding for shitty full motion video, low quality full motion video that you didn't want to look at anyway. Like this motherfucker, contributed to more frustration and hammering of the start button to skip full motion video. I mean, every time you've started a game and saw the Bink Video logo, you should be cursing this piece of shit. I mean, he's acting like he's so great, and like he's this hero of game programming. Like he's just right up there with Carmack and Mia.
Yeah. Oh, how many times is he gonna cuss? Like, I wish he would script his videos, but he's probably not going to. He's gonna tell us to F off or something, something down the line. Oh, and I was muted for a bit, so because I was drinking some coffee. But, dude, who hurt you, bro?
Miyamoto and all the greats and everything. Like he's significant at all. When the only thing that he's ever touched is some shitty animation software that no good games used and crappy Bink Video. He sucks. And so what his real claim to fame is? I don't even know if anybody remembers it now because it's been so long. In like what was this? What year was this? 2014, November 2014. He started this stupid handmade hero project, right? And the whole scam behind
Instant or dripped coffee? It was not instant coffee this time. I'd say it was a very long ass process from like grinding up coffee beans, putting that in the filter, and put it like one of those like coffee making machines where it just drips down to a pot. Oh no, I actually cussed this time. So much for doing that challenge, I guess. Jeez. It's like this video is like it's pretty bad for our brains this time. Like, my goodness, dude.
this thing is, oh look, I'm gonna make a complete professional quality video game, just like people used to make it in the good old days. In the good old days, like again, this phony nostalgia for something that never existed. So the whole idea was, I'll code a professional game from scratch and show you how you would build it because I'm such a badass. Like the world will end unless I pass on my wondrous knowledge. And what's so funny, what's so goddamn funny about this whole thing is that video games have never been about building things from scratch. Video games have always been quick, dirty, duct tape it together, do whatever you can to finish it, and just push it out the fucking door. That's what video games have always been. They've always been that. They've never been about actually creating things from scratch. And like I said, all you have to do is just look at actual video game history. I mean, like look at things like, like 90s, game development. I mean, there used to be like a very commonly used Japanese Genesis, Sega, sample, library that basically all Japanese games used for their sound driver, because who wants to write a sound driver from scratch? You want to finish a game, and because nobody could read the Japanese documentation, like the Genesis in the American and European developers. They had GIMS, which was another sound driver that basically all US and European Genesis games use, because once again, who wants to code a game from scratch? Nobody. People like video game developers want to do one thing. They want to ship a video game. They don't want to dick around, jerking themselves off, talking about, manually etching bits in ROMs or something. It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. Like I said, this is just all phony. This was never what video games were. And like I said, this whole concept, they try to appeal once again to phony nostalgia. They go like, oh yeah, video games used to be so great. I want to do it like they did in the good old days. I want to do it like Carmack did, or whoever. And you know what's so funny about the whole idea? If you go back and look at Doom, go back and look at Quake. I mean, Carmack literally contracted out the fucking sound driver for Doom. I mean, back then, like literally, fucking Carmack wasn't coding everything from scratch because it's fucking stupid. Because why would you do that if you actually want to ship a fucking video game before you die? It's fucking stupid, man. And yet this dumb asshole is pretending like this is some lofty goal that you should aspire to when it's never been what it's about. It's never been. Nobody's ever wanted to do this shit. They want to fucking ship games. And really, and even like Quake, the first Quake game, that used the Allegro graphics library for its DOS graphics output, because once again, who the fuck would want to write everything from scratch if you're busy trying to ship a fucking game? Like I said, games have never been about this. Games have always been about, let's do whatever the fuck that we can to push this out the door as quickly as possible. It doesn't have to be, nice. It just has to be quick and dirty and fucking work. That's what video games have always been. And it's even crazier when you look at like arcade games. Those things, were basically just pushed out the door as somebody was typing on a fucking keyboard, man. Those things were just pushed out the door as quickly as fucking possible. That's why they're full of bugs.
Bros used to slop. I don't even know was that. He is trying to cook though, but it's like at the same time he's like, I don't know if he's cooking. He's screaming. That's all I can hear from this.
Bugs and have all kinds of like weird goofy anomalies because those things were just pumped out as quickly as possible. That's what video games have always been. And the funny thing is, it's even like that today, because it's like, let's look at it. And really, and once again too, I want to, there's like a whole class of like phony charlatans like this Casey Moore or whatever Tory guy. And like that Jonathan Blow, like he's another charlatan, another phony who fits in with this group.
Okay, so I don't know who Casey Muratori is. I've only heard about him through interviews, and he has talked about, I've only heard about him because he would talk about his project called Handmade Hero. I do know he's like acquaintances with Jonathan Blow because of the whole like computer program and coding and stuff like that. I don't know anything. I know a little bit about the Handmade Hero project. I always thought Handmade Hero is like not really a game, but like a simulation. When I say simulation, and I mean he's trying to build up a project to make it so Handmade Hero is easier to do, I don't know, computer coding than comparing to like the stuff from when you do like Visual Studio and whatever applications that you would do the computer program and whatnot. Oh, great. Now I don't know. Do I have to be an engineer in order to understand Casey Muratori? I don't know, bro. Okay.
They all try to fucking pretend that programming is some like badass holy mission that they're on, like it's some I'm such a fucking badass because I code games in C, or I'm this low level programming badass. Like programming has always been boring.
You could be a slop engineer. Dude, anyone can be a slop engineer. A slop engineer creates sloppy joes, react Andy sloppy joes, anything. It's simple.
Boring and lame. It's always been a means to an end. Anybody who pretends otherwise is a fucking fake who thinks that their fucking farts don't smell. They're all full of shit. And the reason that I bring up that Jonathan Blow guy is because it all kind of like it all kind of like points in the same direction where like these suckers will look at
there he goes.
Successful games, people who actually know what they're doing, and they'll criticize them. Like for example, they infamously shit on Elden Ring, for example, because just very this game is sloppy, it wasn't programmed well or anything. But the funny thing is that shit actually proves that they're wrong, on a basic level about everything they say, because look at From Software games, poorly programmed, rushed out the fucking door, and they happen to make the best.
Well, I do agree on that, and I didn't like Jonathan Blow as much. I've heard about him because, like, again, through video interviews and whatnot. I'm not a big fan of him because he used to endorse Phil Fish, who was a video game developer jerk-off, or indie game developer jerk-off, if anything, because Phil Fish was the same guy who made Fez, which it got successful, and this was the same guy who turns around and be like, oh, Japanese games suck, in which it makes no sense. And now we have Jonathan Blow criticizing Elden Ring, which is the similar behavior as that. So yeah, I can agree to some extent, because if anything, Japanese games, JRPGs are subjective in the matter. Although if anything, JRPGs like the old ones can be difficult before the internet times because yeah, there is no look up online for like guides of anything. You can get your butt beaten if you don't know what you're doing.
In games that you can buy today. Isn't that fucking funny? I mean, it basically objectively proves them wrong. It proves that what they're suggesting is actually the wrong way to go about doing shit. What people actually want is artistry. They want fucking art. They don't care if every little technical thing was done perfectly. They just want fucking fun games that have beautiful artwork. That's what people want. And like I said, it's just funny because these weirdos are just
Yeah, I like a fair balance when it comes to games, like graphics wise, story wise, and how the game performs, plays, and whatnot. He's gonna say a hot take soon, and it's so mind blowing. It's gonna come up in like under a minute or around there.
like so fucking bitter that they actually suck at making games and they can't make great games that they try to tear down the people like the few developers left who actually make good games. I mean, I'll put it this way. I mean, if you're gonna criticize From Software today, just stop playing fucking games because there's nothing better. Like as it stands today, that's it. It's basically From Software or the fucking you're going back and playing Super Metroid again in an emulator. There's nothing else. Nobody else is making anything. Every other fucking modern game sucks. So if you don't like the From Software games, just admit that you don't really like video games and just fuck off. And so again, like I just have to harp on this shit.
Okay. I don't know if anyone has played From Software games. When I say From Software games, the modern ones like Dark Souls up to Elden Ring. You know, the recent Elden Ring DLC where it has a roguelite gameplay mode. I thought it was pretty cool. But this guy, the way he behaves with that tone, it makes it sound like he only cares about one game. So basically, From Software games are like the best masterpieces ever. And then everything else is mid to his eyes. They're all right, but has he ever played the time on an RPGX without Kuman? I don't know his opinion about Gunner games or his opinion about like mobile or gacha games. I would not be surprised if he comes in being salty and whatnot. Judging from the guy with the angry gorilla for a profile picture, he's like, how if you criticize From Software games and whatnot, how dare you? You gotta F off and not play video games anymore. Like, damn, what the heck? That's crazy work.
Because this guy is always stirring up shit, always talking about like how terrible programmers are, and oh, woe is me, the world is ending. Things are slower than they've ever been. They're so terrible. Everything is going to hell. And the thing is so fucking funny. These talking heads are always doing goddamn attention whoring interviews with people, right? Like I think I don't know a few months ago or something. That stupid Jonathan Blow was doing an interview with somebody, and basically, and it was just so fucking funny because one minute he was saying, "Oh yeah, everything is so fucking slow today. It takes forever for Windows or Visual Studio to boot up. Oh, everything takes forever." And then 5 minutes later, he was talking about how in the 90s it used to take 40 minutes for an Unreal Engine game to fucking build. So what is it, you dumb? What the fuck is it? Like, is it slower or isn't it? Like, what's going on? Like I said, they just randomly spew shit just to bitch. Like I said, they're just, that's ultimately what they are. They're just bitching for the sake of bitching. And although, more accurately, it's for the sake of shilling, because notice how these fucks they're always asking for money. I mean, look at this shit, this handmade hero crap. That's the last thing I'm going to get into with this sucker. So, once again, 2014, this piece of shit comes along and says, "Oh yeah, I'm going to make a full game, and I'm going to show you, how it's done. Show you how people used to make games."
What did he say? I could have sworn he said something very contradicting right there because he's getting angry. What?
And although, more accurately, it's for the sake of shilling, because notice how these fucks always.
No.
5 minutes later, he was talking about how in the 90s it used to take 40 minutes for an Unreal Engine game to fucking build. So what is it, you dumb asshole? What the fuck is it? Like, is it slower or isn't it? Like, what's going on? Like I said, they just randomly spew shit just to bitch. Like I said, that's ultimately what they are. They're just bitching for the sake of bitching.
I think you're kind of contradicting yourself. I mean, you're sort of randomly spewing. I mean, you did say a hot take that I don't agree with. Being angry. That's all I can say.
And although more accurately,
Ugh.
it's bitch for the sake of shilling, because notice how these fucks they're always asking for money. I mean, look at this shit, this handmade hero fucking bullcrap. That's the last thing I'm gonna get into with this sucker. So once again, 2014, this piece of shit comes along and says, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna make a full game, and I'm gonna show you, how it's done. Show you how people used to make games, even though it actually isn't. It's nothing like people used to make games. Just pre-order now, $15, no big deal. You'll get all my shitty, useless source code." And here we are today. It's fucking May 5th, Cinco fucking de Mayo, 2025, and this cocksucker hasn't produced anything. He hasn't produced fucking one goddamn millisecond of gameplay in all.
He really loves the word meat and meat sucker right there. Like is he like I'm probably Papega as hell, and then I'm pretty sure my chat is, but so he's sexually frustrated with Shantae because he said, "Oh, F Shantae, blah blah blah," and then you're going on about meat and whatnot. So are you also sexually frustrated with meat? I mean, what? What is happening here? Like like he can't go 1 minute without the mention. No, he'd be hungry. I mean, he needs some edibles with some meat on it just to calm down. Like dude.
All this goddamn fucking time. He hasn't produced shit. And if you go to his website now, you know what it'll say? It'll say, "Oh, Handmade Heroes on hiatus because I've moved on to a new scam, and now I'm doing some other stupid, pseudo, educational bullshit that's completely useless because I found something else, some other, bullshit to sell, some other, scam to hawk." And like I said, these guys are just preying on impressionable young programmers because that's what they do. They try to seduce them with this idea like, "Oh yeah, listen to me, follow me, give me money, and you can learn to be the next Carmack. You can learn to be the next great programmer who does this amazing thing." And it's all a lie. It's all a complete delusion. It is not how the world works. It's not how game development's done. The whole thing is just a fucking lie. These people are scum. They are complete scum. They're preying on people. They're constantly, just pushing that fucking tin cup in your face.
You don't need. Yes, we get it. Casey Muratori and Jonathan Blowhard. And here's the thing: I'm not, that kind of person to defend Jonathan Blow in anything. I mean, I made like what 3 to 4 videos whenever he makes his freaking crazy hot takes, especially like for example, that one clip of Jonathan Blow where he was like whining about Steam achievements notifications. Like anytime he like, let's take a random Steam game, for example, and it has in-game Steam achievements itself. You play the game and pretty sure maybe like several minutes in you get achievements, and then it's like boop boop, and then all of a sudden it just he gets upset. There's like an option on Steam to like, surely you could just turn it off, right? And then he was taking a sweet time to try to turn it off. And then when it happens again, he just punches his keyboard or whatever. And I don't know, man. I know a thing about certain achievements to 100%. Okay.
Face begging for money. It's disgusting. So again, fuck this guy, fuck this Casey asshole. Jonathan Blow. They're both scumbags.
Steam achievements feels useless. It is pretty useless. Steam achievements is like whatever. And then I know there are certain games that have like in-game achievements and whatnot, but like if I play like an RPG game, for example, and it has achievements, but whenever you get achievements, it also like gives you like what stats in an RPG or like a costume or whatever the heck, or achievement level, and you get like some interesting bonus or whatever. So it's something like that. When it comes to Steam achievements or Xbox achievements or PlayStation achievements, whatever, to this day, it just doesn't really give you anything in compensation unless like you want to flex for the sake of it. I don't know. PSN and Xbox, you could flex. Yeah, there's that because PSN and Xbox. So PSN with achievements have like bronze to gold trophies. Xbox achievements, I think in like Xbox achievements, it gives you like achievement. It's like an achievement score or whatever. I think it's like total score. Meanwhile, for like Steam achievements, it's like, oh, you gotta like achievement showcase. It's like, oh, look at me, I 100%ed this game and whatnot. Yeah, gamer score. That's Xbox. PSN is like trophies, and then once you unlock all the trophies within a specific game on the PlayStation 3 or whatnot, you platinum it. So there's that in mind.
They will, and I'll say this too, like that Jonathan Blow asshole. He will never make a game as good as any From Software game. He will never do it, and it kills him. It fucking kills him. He can't stand it. He can't stand that he isn't one of the chosen ones. He's not one of the ones who really, made it. Ultimately, he basically fell ass backwards into, early Xbox Live.
I mean, I can sort of agree on that notion. It does remind me of the one clip that I reacted to where Jonathan Blow got butthurt at some rapper that he only made 2 hit singles of. It's called Soulja Boy. And Soulja Boy basically was playing his game called Braid. He was like clowning, laughing, was having a fun time and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, Jonathan Blow, how dare he do this? I'm like, you should be glad that a relevant rapper in that sort of era was giving the game its attention. Oh man, friggin' heck, dude.
um, Microsoft desperation, where they had no fucking games, and so we're just looking for anything. And so Microsoft gave him some money to put Braid on there. But Braid actually is a fucking shitty game. It sucks. Like I say, he got lucky. He can't even fucking admit that he got lucky. And that's the other thing. That's the final thing I'm gonna say about these assholes. For whatever reason, these like weirdo programming guys, they all kind of have like this sort of libertarian Ayn Rand thing going on, where they all think that they're fucking Superman, and they think that if they were born in Uganda, that somehow
Wait, what? What did he say?
these like weirdo programming guys, they all kind of have like this sort of libertarian Ayn Rand thing going on, where
Libertarian Ayn Rand? Are you trying to say ANCAP? Okay, what does politics got to do with this video? I thought you're talking about these two indie computer video computer. Oh my god, dude. This is dude, I've had 6 hours of sleep, and this video is insane. Casey Muratori is a computer programmer coder thing trying to make handmade hero project, and Jonathan Blow, or aka Jonathan Blowhard, is a indie game developer who made 2 puzzle games. I guess you could call it lucky. So I guess Jonathan Blow has also political interests, according to Twitter, but I don't know what does that got to do with anything.
they all think that they're fucking Superman, and they think that if they were born in Uganda, that somehow they would have still ended up doing really well. And it's just a complete fucking joke, because they're not a big deal, and basically for the most part they just got fucking lucky. Really, they got fucking lucky. They're nothing special. And it's just really disgusting that people fall for this fucking crap. They fall for this stupid fucking bullshit when it's based on nothing. It's not based on reality. Video games are about pushing out games quickly.
To be fair, though, if you look at the game called Braid that is developed by Jonathan Blow, there is some like mini little gameplay aspect, like it just some of the gameplay copied off of Super Mario, which is the platforming, but aside of that, there's also like puzzle fets to this. So I don't know what you can call it, if anything.
Not about starting a project in 2014 and not finishing it by 2025. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit. It is a complete fucking mockery. It's a complete fucking mockery that this piece of shit ever took money and couldn't even pump out a single fucking millisecond of gameplay. Which one last thing I'm going to do is just let's go to the last fucking video that 2 years ago, he gave up 2 fucking years ago. And here's the last goddamn video that simplified tile occupancy checking. This motherfucker, didn't he didn't occupy shit. That's the whole problem with this fucking thing. He did. Look at this. I'm going through this video looking for like 1 millisecond of gameplay. He never produced anything. He never produced fucking anything. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke.
So you can judge it based by skimming through the video? Okay.
I'm trying to. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah.
Hello,
Look
everybody.
at this. This fucking asshole produced like wireframes in goddamn 10 years. Fucking wireframes and a bunch of
So much hate in his heart, dude. He has such a he has like a hard on for like hatred. It is crazy. Like, bro, how do we fix this man? We got to bring in the meme. I know how to fix this. It's like we can. I don't know, man. Like you can do like a slight criticism and or like give him like the feedback or something, and then he just like flips his lid. Like what, bro? How do we make a counter argument to the wow.
useless garbage, convoluted, crappy code that nobody would ever use for anything in the real world. He's a fucking joke. Look at this fucking bullshit. I mean, really, 10 years to produce what's basically a prototype of a fucking 3DO game. That's what this piece of shit produced. This is the lesson. This is the takeaway from this fucking bullshit. Oh yeah, you do it like I do if you want to be a real game developer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So I had seen Steam games within like the Steam store where it's been on early access for several years. Take Project Zomboid, for example. The game has been out since what, over a decade, and it's still on early access. When I was playing that game, Project Zomboid, with a few of my friends, I believe it's been so long since I might pick that game back up, but it's been still pushing out updates, even though the game is still on early access. Terraria is also another game, although that Terraria is not an early access game, but it's still pushing out updates as far as I can remember. I haven't played Terraria in like years. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I can see why there are certain indie games and stuff like that that are still on early access for years and onward, and people are thinking like, "Oh, is this game not done yet?" Okay, a few more
And
seconds
maybe
to go.
you'll have like a broken piece of shit that looks like a 3DO game after 10 years. What a fucking joke. Fucking asshole.
God, he's so angry. Like, that's what a way to end a video right there. Like, I know I've been going on and recording for so long, but man, like, I had to pause certain notions because he just sounds so mad every time. Like, I haven't like watched most of his videos. I didn't watch his old ones, but as far as I know, like the videos past like a year or two ago, like it's just so angry. I know this is supposed to be the angry video game nerd style of like raging. I can't even tell if this is the him being mad is like a kayfabe at this point. But judging by the video, when he's going after those two people and then modern vintage G-Man or whatever, like it's like, oh yeah, he's genuinely mad. It's like, wow. But yeah, I don't know how this goes. I wouldn't be surprised if he comments on this video and gets mad at me. So yeah, that'll be the end of this video.